friends, today I'm going to tell you a chilling true crime story from a small marble trading town. This town was famous for its luxury stone business, wealth, and busy marketplaces. Among the successful businessmen, there lived a man named Bharavik Sharma, a respected marble dealer. He lived with his wife Nisha and often visited his elderly parents who stayed nearby. But behind the success and expensive lifestyle, their marriage was slowly falling apart. Nisha constantly argued with Bhavik because she believed he cared more about his parents than his own family. Every time he visited them, another fight would begin. Small disagreements slowly turned into emotional distance. Even though they still cared for each other, tension had become a permanent part of their home. Bhavik looked exhausted from life. Friends noticed that he had become quiet, emotionally broken, and deeply unhappy. Still, no one imagined how dark things would eventually become. Then one morning, everything changed. An elderly man opened his newspaper while drinking tea. As soon as he read the front page article, the cup slipped from his hand and shattered on the floor. The article mentioned that police had discovered a headless body near an abandoned well. Nearby, investigators had also recovered a burned human head and blood-stained clothes. What terrified him most was one detail mentioned in the report. A steel wire had been surgically fixed beneath the victim's left eye. The old man froze in fear because years earlier, his son Bhavik had undergone facial surgery after an accident, and doctors had inserted the exact same kind of steel wire. Even worse, Bhavik had been missing for several days. Police had originally received an anonymous phone call from someone who knew shocking details about the crime scene. The caller accurately described where the body, severed head, and bloody clothes were hidden before disconnecting the call. When officers reached the locations, every detail turned out to be true. The body had been brutally mutilated. The face was burned beyond recognition, clearly an attempt to prevent identification. Post-mortem reports later revealed that the victim had been drugged with sleeping pills before being attacked multiple times in the head. As investigators searched deeper into Bhavik's life, suspicions slowly began pointing toward his own wife. Police learned that Bhavik and Nisha had ongoing marital problems. There were repeated arguments about money, family responsibilities, and trust. During questioning, Nisha initially denied knowing anything. But after intense interrogation, she finally confessed to planning the murder. Her confession shocked everyone. According to investigators, Nisha had secretly developed a relationship with the family driver, Ashok. The two allegedly wanted to start a new life together, but Bhavik refused to agree to a divorce because he didn't want his children's future destroyed. Police said Nisha convinced Ashok to help by promising him money and financial freedom. On the day of the murder, sleeping pills were mixed into Bhavik's juice. Once he became weak and semi-conscious, he was attacked with a heavy iron tool. When he reportedly regained consciousness several times, the attackers continued assaulting him until he died. Investigators later claimed that the body was dismembered and transported during the night in an attempt to destroy evidence and hide the victim's identity. During the investigation, police discovered Bhavik's personal diary. The pages revealed months of emotional pain, fear, and hopelessness. He wrote about constant mental stress inside the marriage and even expressed fear that he could someday be harmed. Those diary entries became a major piece of evidence during the trial. In court, prosecutors presented forensic evidence, witness statements, and the confession. Nisha and Ashok were eventually convicted and sentenced to long prison terms. But the tragedy did not end there. Bhavik's children were raised by their grandparents after losing both parents in different ways, one to death and the other to prison. The family business and property became the center of long legal battles that continued for years. This case remains one of the most disturbing examples of how greed, anger, betrayal, and secret relationships can destroy an entire family. Sometimes, the most dangerous enemies are not strangers, but the people sitting closest to us at the dinner table. If this story shocked you, let me know in the comments which part affected you the most: the betrayal, the greed, or Bavik's silent suffering. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real crime stories. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.